Here's a look at some of Spider-Man's most iconic villains and fascinating trivia about them. The Green Goblin, or Norman Osborn, was initially conceived as a mythological demon, not a costumed villain. Norman Osborn's death in The Amazing Spider-Man number 122 was caused by his own Goblin glider. Norman's son, Harry Osborn, also became the Green Goblin, adding layers of tragedy to their family dynamic. In the Superior Spider-Man storyline, Dr. Octopus, or Otto Octavius, swaps bodies with Peter Parker and lives as Spider-Man for a time, trying to prove he can be a better hero. Otto's mechanical arms fused to his body during a radiation experiment gone wrong. Dr. Octopus debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man number 3 from 1963, making him one of Spidey's earliest foes. Venom, or Eddie Brock, shifted from being a pure villain to an anti-hero, even teaming up with Spider-Man on occasion. Venom's symbiote first bonded with Spider-Man during the Secret Wars storyline of 1984, before becoming Eddie Brock's partner. The symbiote's major weaknesses are sound waves and fire, making loud environments particularly dangerous for Venom. Lizard, or Dr. Curt Connors, was a kind-hearted scientist who turned into the monstrous Lizard after experimenting with reptilian DNA to regrow his lost arm. Lizard made his debut in The Amazing Spider-Man number 6 of 1963. As the Lizard, Connors can telepathically control reptiles. Sandman's, or Flint, Marko body can shift between solid, liquid, and granular forms, making him nearly indestructible. In some storylines, Marko turns to crime to provide for his family, giving him a sympathetic backstory. Thomas Hayden Church portrayed Sandman in Spider-Man 3 of 2007, emphasizing his internal conflict. Electro, or Max Dillon, gained his powers after being struck by lightning while working on a power line. He can control electricity and use it to travel through power lines. Jamie Foxx portrayed Electro in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 of 2014, with a more comic-accurate redesign in Spider-Man No Way Home of 2021. Mysterio, or Quentin Beck, is a special effects artist and stuntman who uses his expertise to create lifelike illusions and trick Spider-Man. He is notorious for faking his own death, often leaving Spidey and others unsure of his fate. Jake Gyllenhaal brought Mysterio to life in Spider-Man Far From Home of 2019, where he uses drones and holograms to deceive. Kingpin, or Wilson Fisk, though often associated with Daredevil, is a major antagonist in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, ruling New York's criminal underworld. Despite his size, Kingpin is incredibly strong and skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Kraven the Hunter, or Sergei Kravinoff, most famous story is Kraven's Last Hunt, where he buries Spider-Man alive and temporarily takes over as Spider-Man to prove he's superior. Kraven's family, including his half-brother Chameleon and his son Alyosha, also become Spider-Man villains. Rhino's, or Alexei Sitsevich, suit is bonded to his skin, giving him incredible strength, durability, and speed, but severely limiting his intelligence. Often portrayed as a comedic villain, Rhino's strength makes him a formidable opponent for Spider-Man. Paul Giamatti briefly portrayed Rhino in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 of 2014. The Vulture's, or Adrian Toomes, suit grants him the ability to fly and enhanced strength, making him a deadly aerial adversary. Toomes is one of Spider-Man's oldest villains, with age playing a significant role in his motives. Michael Keaton portrayed the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming of 2017, tying his backstory to Tony Stark's actions. The Sinister Six is a group of Spider-Man's greatest enemies, often including Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Electro, Sandman, Kraven, and Mysterio. The Sinister Six debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1 of 1964.